Hello Murder Crew, welcome to another Pokemon guide. Today our spotlight Pokemon is Salamence. So who is Salamence? Salamence appears to be based on a salamander, most likely the Hida salamander or Anderson's salamander, which was combined with the archetypal fire-breathing European dragon. This is further backed up by Salamence featuring 3 prominent finlets on either side of its head, which can be interpreted as external gills. These external gills are typical for many species of amphibians. So Salamence is an amphibic type Pokemon. It's also a dragon salamander thing. Salamence may be a combination of salamander, like we just said, and menace, vengeance, vehemence, or violence in regard to its brutal nature. So we got this just angry dragon. Should be awesome. Can't wait to dig further into this. Let's check out its stats. Alright, here's Salamence's stats. It's a dragon / flying type, similar to Dragonite. The abilities are Intimidate and Moxie. And the tier that Salamence belongs in is UU. We have base HP at 95, 135 base attack, 80 base defense, 110 base special attack, 80 base special defense, and 100 base speed. So these are all, above average stats. The Salamence overall is going to be pretty strong. As you can see, that it's going to be more lenient onto the attacking side of its stats rather than its defensive sides, but it's got bulk and 95 hit points, so we're going to try leaning towards that a little bit. Okay, let's head over to Salamence's weaknesses and resistances. Alright, here we are. We have, looks like a pretty balanced table here of weaknesses and resistances. We have 4 times weak to ice, which is normal. This is going to be very similar to Dragonite's stat sheet. We have 2 times weak to rock, and to dragon, and to fairy. It's going to be half times weak to, or resistant to fighting types, bug types, fire types, and water types. It's going to be 4th weak, resistant to grass, and completely resistant towards ground moves, considering that it's flying. So overall, this is a pretty balanced, Salamence is pretty balanced. So it's going to see its own little niche inside the format right now. There's going to be a lot of things that take it out. Probably seeing its biggest rival will be a Starmie. A Starmie with Ice Beam will just really ruin Salamence's day. So we're going to have to be careful of that, especially when you're trying to battle. And yeah, so let's head over to Pokemon Showdown. Okay, I'll see you guys over there. Okay, here we are in Pokemon Showdown. We have Salamence. So the item that we are actually going to start off with is Life Orb. Life Orb is nice. Its holder's attack does 1.3 times damage, and it loses 1/10 its maximum hit points after the attack. So we're just going to try dishing out as much damage as we can with the Salamence. We're going to go for a very aggressive Salamence with this setup here. Our ability, we're going to go with Intimidate over Moxie. Moxie reads, this Pokemon's attack is raised by 1 stage if the attacks and KOs another Pokemon. That's very nice, but we don't want their opponent, especially if you're going to try doing doubles. Intimidate is pretty good, and especially with the 2v2 coming up, you're going to want to be grouped up with someone that has Intimidate, such as like Gyarados. Having Intimidate on your side, lowering the opponent's attack stats by 1 stage is going to be very helpful, especially instead of just buffing yourself up. So we're going to Intimidate, and for our moves, we're going to start out with, of course, Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance is a move that raises the user's attack and speed by 1 stage. So this is going to be our engine. We're going to build up on Dragon Dance, and then we're just going to start dishing out massive damage to the opponent. Our next move is Outrage, which is a Dragon type move. Has 120 power, 100% accuracy, lasts 2 to 3 turns, confuses the user afterwards. If we set up a couple Dragon Dances and we use Outrage on 2 different Pokemon, if Salamence could take out 2 to 3 Pokemon on its own, that's winning. That's doing really well, and we're going to take that. Our next move is going to be Earthquake. I actually really like Earthquake. Earthquake's one of my favorite moves. It's a ground, physical move, 100 power. His adjacent Pokemon. Power doubles on Dig. Again, this is going to be towards your doubles theme. If you do want to go with Salamence with a 2v2 coming out with you have a partner in the battle, Earthquake could be pretty nice, especially if you guys have that strategy going on. Earthquake's going to be your answer to a lot of things that hurt Salamence. And for our final move, this might be a little bit of a surprise, but I always find Fire Blast a pretty useful, especially if you got things like Ferrothorn setting up spikes on you. You don't want anything setting up against you. So having a move that can deal with that would be very nice. It's 110 power. It's a special attack. Accuracy is 85%. It has a 10% chance to burn the target as well. So this is a whole different setup here. I like Fire Blast. Salamence has very high base special attack at 110, so being able to have that with Fire Blast, it's not going to really reduce the amount of damage that it can output, so I don't see why not using Fire Blast. And with this move, it could take out pretty pesky Aegislash, which is an issue, but Earthquake can also do that as well, especially after a Dragon Dance. So your choice. You can go with Fire Blast, or you can go with another attack move. You could definitely go with, let's say, Dragon Claw if you really wanted to, or Draco Meteor is also a good move. But Dragon Claw, Dragon Tail, you could definitely go with that as well. Dragon Tail has 60 power, forces the target to switch to a random ally. So if you can't deal with the Pokemon you have out on the field at the moment, this is a good way to avoid having to battle that initial Pokemon. But for right now, we're going to go with Fire Blast. And that's going to answer some annoying things that can affect your whole team. If Defog was definitely in this game, that would definitely be one of the moves I would suggest, but not for a full-out offensive attack. You want to go for more of a defensive approach with Salamence, which is going to raise your hit points and your defense. But we're not going to do that right now since Defog is not in the game. It kind of ruins the fact that you can't really get away with Salamence as a defender. You still can do it, but having Defog to remove hazards from the field really shines out with the defensive version of Salamence. But right now we're going to go Fire Blast. Okay, for stats, our nature is actually going to be naive. It's going to raise speed and lower special defense. For our EVs, we're going to go max attack, max speed, and the rest in special attack, just to give that Fire Blast a little bit more of a boost. And of course, in a perfect world, which we know is going to be really difficult to do, 6 times 31 IVs. This is going to be your fast, physical sweeping Salamence. And this is going to be probably the one that you'll see most often in the Battle Coliseum. So look out for this. There's some pretty good answers. Starmie is a pretty strong one with Ice Beam. Can't really top that. But yeah, here's our physical Salamence. Hint, hint. Now we're going to go over to our special Salamence. So here it is. We have Life Orb attached to Salamence to do that extra damage. We have Intimidate again as the ability. As for moves, we have Roost. Roost is a healing move for Salamence. It's flying. Heals 50% of the hit points, and it's a flying type remove till turn ends. So it's your recovery option, especially since you're doing Life Orb all the time. It's a pretty good tool to use. You're using this over Dragon Dance, basically. So you have one or the other, or you can do both if you wanted to. Especially in this one, you can switch out. Let's say you wanted to switch out Fire Blast for Roost, if you really wanted to. But most of the time, you're gonna be taking too much damage to really worry about Roost, or because it's not gonna be the most defensive Pokemon, especially 196 defense, 176 special defense. I would definitely still suggest Fire Blast, but that's definitely your choice. But as for me, I'm going Fire Blast. Another move is Outrage. It's just once again, we're at 135 base attack, so it doesn't hurt to have Outrage as one of your moves. Draco Meteor, which is the special move for Dragon types, 130 power, 90% accuracy. It lowers the user's special attack by 2, but you're dishing out so much damage that's really worth it. And especially if you're lowering your attack by 2, you can switch over to Outrage and start dishing out damage that way. And And our final move again is Fire Blast, just to get rid of that Ferrothorn. That Ferrothorn is going to be an issue, and it's good to get rid of it. And for our stats, we're going to go Naive again. It's going to raise speed, lower special defense. We're going to go 252 here and in speed, and 252 in special attack, the rest in attack. So they're basically mirrors of each other, but both are pretty viable and will suit you well in the Battle Coliseum, especially with the meta right now. Once again, Defog is not in the format, so using a defensive Salamence will be a little bit different, but it's definitely usable and could be pretty interesting out there, especially if people aren't looking for it. Alright guys, that's our Salamence guide. If you have another Pokemon that you would like to see next video, please leave it in the comments, and the one with the most comments or likes will be used in the next Spotlight Pokemon. Alright, I am Murderface. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I could use all the support I can get. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. Thank you for being very very involved with all my videos, and I haven't really dished out that thank you to you guys and following me along this whole journey. I plan on putting out a lot more videos, and I hope to get you guys the information that you deserve. Alright, Murderface signing out. Later guys.